This topic comes from seeing things like this. Would you watch a science enthusiast
Would you watch a
talk
streamer
about
that's
something?
bad
Would you
playing
watch
games?
a good pop
Would
rock
you watch
singer
me
on
sculpt?
Twitch
Would you
sing?
watch a billiard?
Would you watch a live stream
teaching
of
me
would you
learning
watch
to cut
someone
my
do
own
graffiti?
hair? Watch a stream where fire lawn?
New live stream idea. Would you watch? So yeah, this is a question that people have to mind. So yeah, people are wondering if their idea has value and merit. And that's a very good thing to be asking. At the same time, I think people are asking it in the wrong place. It makes sense to ask it on a place like our Twitch. If you aren't already streaming, it feels like a place where a bunch of streamers are probably hanging out and you would ask things. The issue that I have with asking this here, you are asking other people who stream rather than going to your potential audience and asking if they stream. So, we're going to go into this topic. The questions that I would have somebody ask about this is thus. First, why do I want to talk about this? Probably it comes from a place of interest or from a place of knowledge, which is fantastic. If you are doing it from a place of knowledge, if you're doing it from a place of interest, if you are literally wanting to research or show your passion or something, this is a great thing. You are already thinking about your content. But it is a good thing to brainstorm off of this idea and really ask yourself, why do I want to do this? The more important question for you on this is, why do you want to live stream this? Live streaming is really cool, and there's something very, very interesting about live streaming. The success stories of live stream lead people to have stars in their eyes and sometimes dollar signs in their eyes. But it doesn't always mean that what you want to talk about is right for live streaming. Really, the question you should ask after asking, why do I want to do this, is why do I want to do this on Twitch? Why do I want to do this on a live streaming platform? What is it about live streaming that this topic would do well on? Now, is this because the other areas of people talking about this are saturated and Twitch or another live streaming platform allows you to talk about something popular in an area that it's not yet popular? Well, that might be a very good reason. Is it just that you are brainstorming ideas for a Twitch stream? That might not be the best reason why you are doing it. Might this work better on TikTok? Might this work better on YouTube? Might this work better as videos that you release to Facebook or Twitter or Instagram? Why live streaming? Because live streaming is hard, and live streaming might not be very good if you are going on a long, complicated topic. Because an issue that comes up with live streaming is that the beginning, middle, and end that you will frequently see in VOD-based content is not available on Twitch. And you could have the coolest topic in the world, but if you were trying to attract people for a 3-hour talk about something, and you were getting people who are coming in at hour 2 who don't have the foundational stuff that you talked about, it might not work really, really well for you. On the other hand, you might find it works really, really well, and the Q&A side of things that you do could work really well. Can you keep generating content? Super powerful question. Something that comes up with live streaming, because you are doing something for multiple hours at a time, is you can find yourself very quickly running out of content. Since the average YouTube video is around 8 to 10 minutes, given their current meta, it means that if there is something like 52 different topics within the category that you want to talk about, you potentially have 52 plus videos. Given that you can intro and outro and then put the bulk of your content there, you have a wide variety of things that you can do. But if there's only about 6 minutes that you can really talk about that individual topic, well, that's about it. And then you can cover sort of everything. Then you do some filler content and figure some various things out. Whereas on something like Twitch, where you are probably running a minimum 2-hour broadcast, potentially longer depending upon what you are doing, you could very quickly exhaust the entirety of your content if there is a finite amount of it available. So, is there a finite amount of content within the thing that you want to talk about? Or is there a continually updating set of things that allow you to continually do things? There's a reason why video games have been incredibly popular on live streaming content, which is between new video games coming out, new patches coming out for video games, tournaments, and new metas evolving within some games, it provides almost a constant amount of content available. Whereas if you want to talk about something that's static, you might eventually run out of things to talk about, which would tell me that live streaming might not be the place for you. So do understand that. You might run out of topic, and then suddenly this cool Twitch stream is a 3-month project, and then you're done. And then, because Twitch doesn't keep their VODs, and because of the way that Twitch is kind of a event-based thing, all this cool work that you put in was sort of done, and then it's done. How big of an audience is there? If you are talking about butterflies, why would you go to a bunch of people who know how to stream video games and know how to do IRL streams? The best place for you to go to ask if people are interested in this is places where people already want to gather and talk about butterflies, because those are going to be your initial audience. You are talking about a thing that appeals to them. You talk about butterflies and they want to talk about butterflies and learn about butterflies. It is a match made in butterfly heaven. We're going to go with it. Butterfly heaven sounds like a fantastic place. Your audience doesn't have to be big depending upon what your overall plans are. If you manage to make really good and engaging content, but you have a small audience, you still have the ability to appeal to those people, and you can find yourself a very dedicated audience. If you can get 50 people around, you could still run a really cool hobby stream that gets people very excited and has a very, very enthusiastic group of supporters to it. You could also potentially be tapping into something that has millions of people who are very interested, and potentially have an utterly huge audience of people who you could potentially appeal to. So that's a thing to understand there. Just because the audience is small doesn't mean that this isn't a viable thing. You have to understand how fervent the audience is and how well you might appeal to them. The other thing to ask with regards to audience is, where are they located? Because understanding where that audience likes to congregate is going to give you a huge amount of power in launching and maintaining and growing your stream. Because using our previous example of butterflies, you wouldn't want to go to r/Twitch to talk about your butterfly stream, because the vast majority of people there probably don't care about butterflies. Instead, look at places where butterfly enthusiasts like to spend their time, and then go interact with them in that sort of place. And then ask them that initial question that has generated this content, which is, hey, would you be interested in a Twitch stream where someone talks about certain sub-aspect of butterfly fandom for 2 hours, 3 days a week? Would this appeal to you? Is this something you would tune into? Because now you're asking people who would genuinely engage and enjoy this content and watch it. Know where they're at, because if you know where these communities are, you can integrate within those communities. I'm kind of assuming you're probably already part of that if you want to stream this content. You can integrate with those communities and grow your Twitch stream that way by bringing in a bunch of people who are already sold on this topic, and you can engage with them with it. We've covered how big of an audience is there and where is this audience located. Depending upon how big you want your stream to get, if you have aspirations of stardom, you probably want to make sure that there is a relatively large audience for them. But if there is not a relatively large audience for this, we are going to go to the next question here, which is this one here. Can you make people from outside the audience interested? This is something that has been done incredibly well from by people like Neil deGrasse Tyson, people who take something which might not be incredibly interesting and have a lot of people who are interested and make it really cool and approachable so a lot of people out there are suddenly low level interested. He's able to take a topic and make it entertaining for a large variety of people, drawing in an audience of people who are not interested and making them the audience. Does the topic that you think you are streaming, that you are thinking about streaming, have the ability to appeal to a bunch of people who know little to nothing about the topic? And do you, as an individual, have the ability to explain those topics and make them approachable? In this case, do you think you could be a Neil deGrasse Tyson for your topic? Can you be someone who can make this topic approachable and be interesting in the way of doing so? That would also allow you to know if people are interested. The issue is you are kind of asking people before you have shown them that you have the ability to make this topic interesting. So asking, hey, would you watch a stream about butterflies? Maybe. Whereas if you were able to do hey, I run a stream about butterflies and I explain the utterly fascinating things about the butterfly world and the way that all the things that people don't know. There is an insane world of butterflies out there, but I do it in an approachable way. So to sum this up, would somebody watch X on Twitch? The place to ask this really is to go to people who would already be interested in this topic and ask them if they would watch this topic that they're interested in on Twitch. Figure out how big the audience is, figure out how likely the audience is to engage with you, and then maybe figure out how you are going to engage with that topic. Figure out if live streaming is the actual right place for this. Just because live streaming's cool, and just because you could probably live stream like 15 streams about this, if there isn't an infinite amount of content to talk about, live streaming might not be great. Whereas if you are looking to make content that's interesting and engaging, you might want to look at different platforms other than live streaming where people can discover your content for days and weeks and months and potentially years to come. And lastly, think about how you might be able to make your topic appealing depending upon how big you want to be. It might be that the people who are already sold on this topic wouldn't tune in because you don't have a ton of knowledge about it. But you might be able to then impart that knowledge and turn other people into fans. All right, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this and enjoyed some of the more colorful examples that I gave throughout the course of it. If after all of this in your own thinking, you are still thinking about running a Twitch stream, why not check out this video that I have over here titled Why You Shouldn't Compete for Viewers on Twitch, where I go into one of the topics that I touched on here, which is that where to develop your audience and go for new viewers and how you should approach streaming on Twitch and ultimately how you can grow that viewer count. Hopefully you guys enjoy it or enjoy the next video that you decide to queue up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the future.